Hey guys, hey, game changers. I am on here real briefly to talk about daycare centers. Let's talk about in-home daycare centers. I just kind of want to remind you guys that in-home daycare centers make $1,500 a week. You can also not only have in-home daycare center, but you can have a preschool. So you can have either in-home daycare or an in-home preschool. They're really making good monies, but I also want to implore you guys, as you know I always do not get into daycare or preschool for the money. You have to love it. It is long hours. It is work. You have to come up with curriculums. You have to be focused and you have to love children. But if you meet all of those criteria that I just mentioned, you would make a great daycare host. And a daycare host basically is someone who opens their home up for in-home daycare. And you can choose the hours you want. If you want those hours from 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 10 to 6, whatever time that you want to operate in a professional manner to provide those services is up to you. If you're good at what you're good at, and if you do a very good job at who you are as a teacher, people are going to drive the distance. People are going to do whatever it takes to get their child in your particular center. So I wanted to remind you guys that childcare is a fulfilling job, especially if you really love to be around children. It can be fun. You can write curriculums for your children. You can have an amazing time coming up with art projects, with science projects, with technology, field trips. Those are one of the things that I felt was absolutely a necessity and amazing. Field trips. So guys, know and understand that in the end, in the scheme of everything that's everything, you got to have the passion in your heart to do it. And then all those other excuses that you're giving yourself will dissipate completely. You've got to have it in your heart, and your willpower has to really want to do this. And if it does, then you take a room in your home. You take your living room in your home. You take whatever parts of your home that you can and create a great childcare environment. Create a great preschool environment. Create a great learning environment. And take it very seriously. You want to schedule a time. You want to make sure everything is repetitive every day. You want to schedule a time for lunch, schedule a time for circle time, schedule a time for preschool teaching, schedule a time for math, schedule a time for science, schedule a time for technology. Whatever it is that you're teaching, you also can specialize in that teaching. It's so many different dynamics these days that some people are all vegans. They want their children going in an environment where they don't have to worry about them getting home to any meat or meat byproducts. That within itself is a great characteristic to open an in-home hosting daycare center for. Some people just really are very conscious about the type of food you feed their children. So all of these nicks and crannies, field trips, some people are culturally geared toward daycare centers or preschools for their children being culturally diverse. So it's many of roads that you can take. And in this business, there is gratitude and wealth. And it's gratitude and wealth because if you really love what you do and you really take interest in what you're doing, you will never need to fill seats. You will always stay booked. Because people can feel, can't you feel love? When someone really loves you, can't you feel it? Like they don't even have to tell you. You can feel it. It's a vibration. So the same thing with taking care of children and hosting daycares and preschools in your home. It is a vibration. Children can feel it. They want to be there. They're not crying when the mommies drop them off. They're like, bye, see ya. I know you'll be here in a couple hours. So the energy is totally different, especially if it's something that you absolutely love to do. But if it's something that you absolutely love to do, my question to you is, why are you waiting? What the heck are you waiting on? See, the difference is you got to know and understand when you are a leader or a follower. Because sometimes people just like working for other people, and that is okay and fine. If you like just sitting there talking about opening a daycare center on and on year after year and never really doing it, never putting in the effort, never really going after your dreams, then that's what it is. And then some people have no desire to operate and own their own facility or their own business. But when you have the desire to operate and own your own facility and your business, you're going to do what it takes. And if you don't want to do what it takes, then you don't really want it. When you really want something, you're going to do exactly what it takes to get it. And it's so easy and simple. Go back and watch some of my videos on childcare. It is one of the most lucrative jobs or careers or really businesses to own. It is one of the most lucrative. When you own a childcare center, you're getting paid. You put in the work, but you get paid. And the more you love it, the more you get paid. So really understand and know if it's something that you really want to do, you can make a wealthy career out of it. And you can enjoy life while doing it. You can connect. You can really take what it takes to put together those amazing curriculums, to put together those amazing work packets, those amazing field trip packets. And you can set your price at anything you want at that time because you're in demand. Why are you in demand? Because you're good at what you do and people love you. And most of all, the children love you. So if it's been on your heart to open a childcare, preschool, daycare, run for it. Do it. Start it out in your home. And I tell anyone, go back and watch the other videos. You should always start at home daycare before you open a center. Because first of all, daycare centers and that whole experience is not for everyone. You got to really love what you do. And start out with a home center. You can have 12 to 15 children, just depending on what kind of home you got and how many square feet. And, that's on the video too. But the most important thing is to know and understand when you need help. Like if you just don't know where to start, like you really, really want to do it, but you just need a little more guidance and don't know where to start, that's when you call me. I offer 2 classes. I offer a class on opening a home daycare, and I offer a class that's opening for centers. I tell you A to Z on each. A to Z how to open an actual center. Did you know when I opened my centers, there was no one to tell me or guide me or lead me or show me? No one. That's why I started teaching, because when I opened, and I've had 7 centers. When I opened my centers, I had to do everything by trial and error. I had to bump my head. So these courses are made where you could just flow straight through. You do not have to bump your head. You do not have to work off trial and error. You do not have to get written up. You do not have to do the wrong things. You do not have to spend 6 months getting started. Each of these courses teach you how to get started immediately. So if you don't want to waste your time, get in touch with me. Hit my website, www.bosschick360.com. You can always hit me up on email, Karen, Karene, Shakir, Shakir, @gmail.com. Hit me up on here. Send me a message. Get in touch with me. Hit me on my Facebook page. I often give those classes a lot, and I have a lot of students out there who have successfully opened their home daycares in a matter of a day. You can open a home daycare in a day. You don't even need, girl, stop playing with me. Tomorrow you can open your home daycare. Period. Centers, normal time for centers is 4 to 6 months. I get you open in 90 days. So guys, for the most part, now if something's coming up that, it's on you and you dragging your feet, but for the most part, I can get you in there within 90 days. Sometimes 60. Sometimes 30, just depending on where you at and just knowing how to maneuver, like seriously. And that's a lot because you have to have so many inspections. And I'll walk you through all the inspections. I'll give you all the paperwork, everything you need to get started on both levels. If you're opening a center or if you're opening up a home daycare, I've got applications. I've got all the paperwork you need, period. And like I said, home daycares you can open today. So guys, get in the course, take the courses or the course, and always know, live your passion, become that entrepreneur. Then you can make your own time. You can do the things that you want to do. I took off twice a year when I had my home daycares. I took off twice a year, every year. I would take off in the winter. I would take off from Christmas to New Year's that week. And then I would take off a week in the summer, vacation time, paid vacation time. So it's important for you to know before you start a home daycare how to get those documents, how to get that stuff written in your policy, how to look out for you. And you want to make sure you have a policy written so that parents know and understand the expectations from you, and you know and understand the expectations from them. So there's no gray area. There's no lines to cross. I mean, everybody's understanding and clear on what we expect from each other. So, guys, I implore you to take the course, open that business. This is the perfect time. If you're scared of COVID, you put in measurements. There's COVID measurements. You take temperatures every day. You wash hands every day. Do not miss. As soon as the child walk in the building, go to the sink and wash your hands. Have a testing station in the front of the center with temperature, with thermometers and hand sanitizer. And don't allow a lot of people in and out, just the child. So there are several COVID precautions that you can take. But again, home daycares are very lucrative because parents are no longer wanting to put their children in these huge daycare centers with all of this stuff going around. They prefer a small home daycare. So guys, hit me up. I would be more than happy to guide you to opening from A to Z on a home daycare, family style, or group home, and of course, childcare centers. Have a marvelous day.